Good evening, this is Mr. Win bringing you Unit 4, Lesson 2b here, and in this lesson we're going to continue graphing systems of equations. If you remember, in the last lesson we graphed systems of equations with pairs of lines, and in this one we're going to start by graphing a circle and a set of lines here. So in the first one, they're asking how many times can a circle and a line intersect, and what are the possibilities? So if we sketch a graph of each possibility here, we have a circle, and we can have a line on the outside of the circle here where they don't intersect at all, so zero intersection. Or we can have a circle and the line can be tangent to it, and tangent just means that it hits it at one point, so there's one intersection. Or, and this is our last case here, we can have a circle where a line goes right through it, and notice that one there are going to be two intersections. So that one has two intersections. And these are the three possibilities for a circle and a set of lines here. So let's take a look at question B now. In question B here, they're asking us about a parabola and a line where the equation of the parabola is y equals x squared, and what are the possibilities for that equation and a line to intersect. So if we draw out our parabola here and just making a sketch here, we have our parabola. Well, one possibility is going to be a line that doesn't intersect at all, so zero intersection there. And another possibility is going to be sketching the graph here. Just like with our circle, if the line is tangent to that line, to that parabola. And since it's tangent, it means it's going to hit it once. Another possibility here is if the line here is parallel to the axis of symmetry, means that it's going to hit it at one point again. And the last case here is if the line goes directly through the parabola, means it will hit it twice. So those are the four possibilities for a parabola and a line there. And let's take a look at question C now. In part C here, we're going to sketch a graph of a circle given by the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 1, and the line given by y is equal to 2x plus 2. So we take a look at this here, sketching our graph. We are going to have a circle on this graph here. And since it's x squared plus y squared is equal to 1, that tells us that it has a radius of 1. So we have our circle here with radius 1. And our line tells us to start at 2, with the slope being up 2 over 1, or in this case we're going to go the other way and go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and down 2 over 1. So we sketch a graph of our line here. From our sketch here, we can see that the two equations here are going to intersect at -1, 0. It's also going to intersect up here, but from this sketch we can't tell what the points are going to be for that one. So now let's take a look at our first exercise here, exercise 1. In exercise 1a here, they give us the equation of a circle x squared plus y squared is equal to 9, and they ask us to sketch a graph of the circle and the line y is equal to 2. So let's take a look here. We have our circle with our radius 3. Since that 9 there is just going to tell us that it has a radius of 3. And so let's sketch a graph of the circle here. And they tell us the line is given by y is equal to 2. So going up to 2 here. We have our sketch of the graphs here. Now they ask us for the solutions to the system here. So we plug in y is equal to 2. Since we know y, we just need to solve for x here. So we have x squared plus y squared is equal to 9. And since y is equal to 2 here, we can plug it right in and we get x squared plus 2 squared is equal to 9, or x squared plus 4 is equal to 9. Subtracting the 4 here, we get x squared is equal to 5. So we take the square root of this, we get x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 5 here. So our solutions are going to be positive square root of 5, and our y was 2. And my other solution is going to be negative square root of 5, and again, positive 2 for our y value. So those are going to be these points here, the points of intersections on our graph. Go ahead and try questions B and C there on your own, and let's jump right to question 2. Taking a look at question 2 here, they ask us to solve a system of equation where one of our line is going to be x minus y is equal to 6, and our circle is x squared plus y squared is equal to 26. So we set our line here to y equal mx plus b. I get x minus y is equal to 6. So if I'm solving for y here, I'll minus the x. I get negative y is equal to negative x plus 6. Just dividing by negative 1 here. I get y is going to equal positive x minus 6. And my other equation is x squared plus y squared is equal to 26. And same thing, I'm just going to solve for y here so that we can use substitution. So subtracting the x squared, subtract the x squared here, I get y squared is equal to 26 minus x squared, and just taking the square root of this thing here, I get my second equation as y is equal to 26 minus x squared, and the whole thing is square root. So my first equation was y is equal to x minus 6. And all I'm going to do here is use substitution here. So I have x minus 6 is going to be equal to the square root of 26 minus x squared. So this should look familiar here to solving for radical equations here. Remember that to solve for these here, all I have to do is square both sides, which will eliminate the radical on the right side. And if you do use tabular for the left side, it does come out as x squared minus 12x plus 36. And again, by squaring the right side there, I eliminate the radical, so I get 26 minus x squared. And from here, all I'm going to do is solve for that x there, and notice the x squared will not cancel, which means I have to add the x squared over and subtract the 26. So this will give me 2x squared here minus 12x plus 10 is equal to 0. And you can use borrow and pay back, but the easiest thing to do here is to take out that GCF first. So divide everything out by 2. So your GCF was 2, and you get x squared minus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. And if you do factor this here, you should get 2 and x minus 5 and x minus 1 here is equal to 0. So your x values are going to be 5, and x is also equal to 1 here if you tee it up. So let's clear some of this off to get some more space going here. So we have x was equal to 5, and x is equal to positive 1. So now we just need our y values here, so we plug it in, and I'm going to use the first equation there, the one for the line here, since it has no squares, so it's easier to deal with. So plugging 5 in for x, we get x minus y is equal to 6, and 5 minus y is equal to 6. So solving for y, subtract the 5, and you get negative y is equal to positive 1 here, which means that y is just going to equal negative 1 here when x is equal to 5. And solving for my other value here, I'm going to do the same thing and plug x equals 1 in. So we have x minus y is equal to 6. Plugging that 1 in, I get 1 minus y is equal to 6. And subtract 1 here, and I get negative y is equal to positive 5. So if I divide by negative 1 here, I get that y is equal to negative 5. So our two points of intersections here are going to be when x is 5, we got y is negative 1. And our other point of intersection is going to be when x is 1, y is negative 5. So we sketch a graph of this here. We have our circle. And since our number here is 26, which is about 25, so we know the square root of 25 is going to be 5. So our circle is going to be about 5. And our line here was y is equal to x minus 6, so somewhere down here for the minus 6 y-intercept there. And we have our 2 points of intersection, so we know that at 5, negative 1, so around here somewhere. And the other one is 1, negative 5, so 1 and negative 5 will probably be around here somewhere. Will be our 2 points of intersection, so we're just making a sketch of the graph here. Those will be our intersection of the line and the circle. So let's take a look at the next question here, question number 3. In question number 3 here, all we're going to do is sketch a graph of both of our equations here. X squared plus y squared is equal to 1, our circle, and 5x plus 6y is equal to 12, the equation of our line. So we sketch a graph of our circle here, and let's just say that there is 1, and that there is 1, so that there will be negative 1, and negative 1. So that'll be a sketch of our circle of radius 1 there. And our line, if we solve for it here, we get 5x plus 6y is equal to 12 minus the 5x minus the 5x. And you get 6y is equal to minus 5x plus 12. Just dividing by 6 there. We get y is equal to negative 5 over 6x plus 2. So our line is going to start somewhere at 2 up here with a negative slope, so it's going to go down this way here. And if you had plugged this into a calculator, you would see that the line there and the circle will not intersect, meaning that there is no solution for this one. That's it for this lesson. If you have any questions, please bring them to class, and as always, thanks for watching.